Hey, I'm Mitch, and today I'm going to be telling you the story behind a little song I wrote called Feel So Close, and also breaking down what the lyrics are about. If you haven't checked out the song yet, links just below the like button. I wrote this song back in September of 2019. At the start of that year, I just came out of a relationship that had been for about 18 months. Yeah, it was just quite a painful process, as many breakups can be. I would sometimes, joke that I missed her dogs more than her, which isn't entirely true. I did miss her dogs, but thinking about her was painful. Then, in the middle of the year, I was going on a service trip with my ex. We would be spending a whole week together serving the community as part of a team of maybe around 20 or so. This was something that I was very apprehensive of, definitely kind of freaking out a bit. The very night before, I managed to have a good chat with a close friend, and he just really challenged me to treat her in a Christ-like way and to not let the pain of the past define how I would treat her. It was very clear to me at that point that I would need God's help to be able to do any of that. I ended up staying up quite late that night, just messaging people and asking them to pray for me, only getting 1 hour of sleep, but I had a whole army of prayer warriors behind me. And this was a new experience for me. I'd never had this much prayer for me at any time before in my life. And just during that week, God really revealed to me his power to be able to transform my life and just do things that I'd never experienced before. In the wake of this, I just had this deep feeling that I was close to something, that God had, all these blessings in store. And so this song was really just an expression of this period of my life where I knew for sure that God had this awesome journey in store for me. And I just had to step out in faith. So now let's talk about the lyrics. Life's a mission you choose to accept or deny it every day, and it could be so much more than you know now. Life is a challenge. Life is a mission at times, and it can be really discouraging to try and, choose to take on the challenges and the difficulties in life. And it can be so easy to just, run away and hide in escapism. That's something I've done many times. Just, run away and play video games for a month. It really doesn't get you closer to your goals and to the things that God wants to bless you with. So it's really starting off with a challenge of what could your life look like if you took hold of it with both hands and really engage with the difficult stuff to get to where you need to be. It's a dangerous game we play when we think ourselves as pawns, play victim to the choices we have made. Now, this is by no means trying to invalidate anybody's experiences or challenges. This is really just about speaking to an attitude of, it's not my fault, and finding something to blame for everything. Sometimes we need to really just take responsibility for our actions, for our choices. It's only when we realize our power to choose that we're able to use it. And I feel so close to something, I don't know what it is. And I feel so close to something, I don't know what. These words are inadequate to express the feeling, but it's the best I could manage. That feeling of I'm close to something that's going to change my life, that will be transformative. This is really just talking about how what God has in store for us is far beyond our wildest imagination. This is not prosecution, but confession of a fool, clutching at short straws and wiser words. I'm not speaking as someone who has got it all figured out. I am not talking about the power to choose as someone who has always used it well. I'm talking about that as someone who has made many, many mistakes. Clutching at short straws is just kind of a mix of idioms there to represent just reaching and trying to attain to something that I'm not quite confident that I've grasped. These words are an attempt to find wisdom from the experiences that I've been through that I can then share. This road was made for walking, not for watching passers by. Eyes forward, private. We've got miles to march. Life is not about just sitting on the sidelines and watching other people go past and do their thing. It takes discipline to do life well. To really live your best life, it's a march, it's a discipline, it's an effort to keep going when you don't feel like it. I'm speaking as a fool here, I'm speaking as someone who lacks self-discipline in many areas of my life, but the more that I learn about life, the more I see that there is so much value in self-discipline and in the march of life, that God has blessings in store for us if we commit to the path that He's given us. And I feel so close to something, I don't know what it is. And I feel so close to something I've been running from. This is a bit of a confession about how so often I've been heading in the opposite direction of the growth that I need. So often I've been squandering opportunities and, taking things for granted. And I don't want to keep doing that. God's a mystery that hides within, and He's waiting for an open door. The Bible tells us in Revelation, God says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock." God is at the door of your heart, knocking, waiting, ready to come in. All it takes is to accept Him into your life. I felt like I'd spent many years like I had the door just open part way, but not fully letting Him all the way in. This is really just kind of an expression of wanting to be closer to God. God's a mystery that hides within. His power is beyond human explanation. He wants to dwell in your heart, to dispel all the lies so enchanting and reveal the miles ahead of you still. This is really just talking about spiritual growth, about how there's lies of the enemy that take root in our minds, in our hearts, that lead us away from God, that lead us away from joy and from happiness and from peace that we could find in Him. This is really just wanting God to show where I could grow, where He wants to take me, and something that I hope you might pray as well. And He is knocking at your door. So open your eyes and let your God in. So often we can fall into a spiritual blindness where we don't even see where God is in our life and where God is lacking in our life. So often we don't even see the door that God's knocking at. But He's there, and the moment we acknowledge Him and let Him into our life, He'll start working straight away. He will start changing your desires, changing your patterns of thought, giving you victory over things that have crippled you for years. There are things that I failed to let God into that really held me back for a long time. And it wasn't until I really let God into those areas of my life that I was able to experience a closer walk with Him and greater joy, greater happiness, greater peace, greater strength to get through life. I've heard the metaphor of, God knocking at the door of your heart and your heart being like a house, and sometimes you might let God just into the entryway or the common areas. But then, oh no, God, I don't want you getting into that closet over there. I got stuff in there, you know how it is. Got to keep that distance, or oh, don't come into my bedroom, don't come into my fridge, don't come into my pantry. So often we cut off parts of our lives from God being able to access, from God being able to bless. And God asks us to open all of our hearts, all of our minds, all of our strength to Him, because He wants to bless us, because He has a plan for us to prosper us and not to harm us, that so often we separate ourselves from. Then the bridge is really just an appeal. It's time to take the first step of the rest of your life. That first step is just letting Jesus in, maybe for the first time, or maybe letting Him into parts of your life that you didn't let Him into before. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever stage in your spiritual journey you're at, I just want to extend this invitation to you. It's time. It's time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, just to let YouTube know that you're enjoying this and that other people should watch this as well. It really helps me out. I've got some more stuff coming up in the works. I've got another song that all the audio is recorded, just got to do the video for it. So hopefully that won't be too much longer. I'm a bit busy with uni, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm really excited to share this song with you guys when it's ready. So keep an ear out for that. I hope you all have an excellent day. See you guys later. God bless.